And good afternoon and welcome to the Chris Salcedo Show here on Newsmax. The majority in Congress kind of run by lazy legislators who put themselves and their own interests ahead of the liberty, security, and prosperity of their voters. That's not my opinion. I have the proof in the $1.7 trillion Omnibus spending bill that's being pushed by the Democrats' champion, Mitch McConnell. Not one more dime to pro-Democrat Republicans. That's our focus in today's preamble. The U.S. Congress used to pass 12 spending bills. Did you know that? They originated in the House, passed in the House, debated and passed in the Senate, then sent to the president's desk for a signature. They don't do that anymore. The Congress is so busy assuming powers it was never granted under the Constitution, and so busy campaigning for the next election that they're neglecting their constitutional responsibilities. In short, the leaders of the Congress have abdicated their role of preserving, protecting, and defending the Constitution, and in so doing have turned their backs on us. One of the lead architects of this abandonment of the Congress's duty to we the people is Mitch McConnell. As you know, a majority of senators recently voted to make this man the minority leader of their caucus after he supported Republicans in the general election who campaigned for, voted for, and endorsed Democrats. After the election, Mitch McConnell is showing Joe Biden and his friend Chuck Schumer just how much of an asset he is to the Democrat Party. Mitch McConnell is openly and unapologetically working to make sure the incoming GOP House majority has as little power to oppose the Democrats' destructive policies as possible. Mitch has boxed out the House GOP leadership in collusion with Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi to abandon the budget process and run this government in Mitch McConnell's image, an image of a bankrupt banana republic. You'll be saddened to know that the Senate Republicans like John Cornyn, John Thune, Joni Ernst, Susan Collins, John Barrasso, and others fully support Mitch McConnell's actions here, kneecapping the Republican representatives in the House. Kevin McCarthy has voiced his objection to Mitch McConnell's efforts to make sure the Democrats' spending priorities are fully funded and that the destructive policies on the border, the economy, and criminal justice, just to name a few, continue to harm the people of Kentucky and the rest of our people. Conservative Congressman Dan Bishop is outing Senate Republicans for conspiring with left-wing extremists to force taxpayers to fund what the congressman calls Malthusianism. It's an ideology that denigrates humanity, claiming we, people, are the cancer of the planet. The movement works to eliminate humankind's influence by eradicating us from the earth. Mitch McConnell and all of those who voted for him are well, they have dedicated $575 million of your money for family planning in areas where population growth threatens biodiversity. The congressman also pointed out that Mitch McConnell's pals in China are in need of more of America's taxpayer money, and that's why Mitch and his pro-Democrat Republicans have worked to dedicate $70 million to restoring salmon populations in the Pacific. Hey, China's got to eat, right? But it doesn't stop there, my friends. Mitch is putting the GOP brand on making sure the international community can keep its meat hooks in America, approving $1.3 billion in spending for membership in global organizations, including the United Nations. One of the more egregious attacks on our people from Senate Republicans is they're pushing for our Border Patrol to be funded, but, and this is a big but, Mitch McConnell is making sure that a Democrat provision survives in this bill. All of the money being dedicated to the Customs and Border Protection, the Democrats have insisted none of that money can be used to secure the border. That's right. The Democrats have said that no money can be used to stop illegal immigration into the United States. Mitch McConnell and his Senate Republicans are tripping all over themselves to make sure that gets passed. Meanwhile, the Democrats and old Mitch are dedicating $410 million to border security to other countries like Jordan, Lebanon, Egypt, Tunisia, and Oman. A few brave Senate Republicans, likely the ones who voted against Mitch McConnell as leader, recognize how dangerous Mitch McConnell's game is. Senator Rick Scott of Florida is insisting that the pro-Democrat Senate Republicans remember why they were elected. He is saying the GOP needs to keep faith with their voters who didn't vote for the Democrats' destructive pro-China agenda. Sadly, a majority of Republicans are loyal to Mitch McConnell, not to their voters. Is Mitch McConnell on record saying the #1 priority of the GOP is to stop government's abuses of our people, like using government resources to steal our constitutionally protected rights? No. Is Mitch McConnell on record saying the #1 priority for the GOP is stopping the multiple border crises? No. Is Mitch McConnell on record saying that the #1 priority for the GOP is stopping the Democrats' crime wave and protecting Americans? Nope. Is Mitch McConnell on record saying the #1 priority for Republicans is addressing runaway inflation, supply chain shortages, high gas prices, and a decline in our quality of life? No. Mitch McConnell claims the GOP's top priority is something else. Most of this nonsense could be avoided. All Mitch McConnell would have to do is to agree to a short-term spending package that funded the government through, let's say, January. That would give the GOP-controlled House more leverage to stop some of the funding that has turned our government against our people. To do this, Mitch McConnell would have to be in favor of GOP values, priorities, and sensibilities. He's not. Instead, McConnell is hell-bent on making sure the Democrats' destruction of our nation and people continues unabated, including the Democrats' placating of communist China. If the Democrat and pro-Democrat GOP Omnibus bill goes through, the new House majority that our nation just elected will have no impact on wasteful government spending until September of 2023. I said in the aftermath of the 2022 midterm red fizzle, I do not support Republicans who campaign for, vote for, or support Democrats or Democrat agenda priorities. If donating to and voting for Republicans yields Democrat victories, why donate or vote for a Republican? The conservative base must no longer support Mitch McConnell or anybody delusional enough to make him a GOP leader. Supporting wasteful, destructive, lawless, and America Last Democrat priorities disqualifies you as a credible Republican. Or at least it should.